See, most companies think cold outbound is dead, and they're wrong. See, what's actually dead is their approach to it. So we've helped companies like Ocean Capital book 56 meetings in 90 days, Imperial Digital generate 450k in pipeline in just 6 weeks, and Flair Finance closed 3 new clients from a single outbound campaign. Now the difference, they're not doing what everyone else is doing. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact system we use to turn your cold outbound into the most predictable revenue engine, and it's nothing like you've tried before. So let's dive into this. So how we use cold outbound to make you a market leader. Your systematic cold outbound engine, dominate your market, predictable pipeline every quarter. So the opportunity. See, there's a 10 to 50x larger market that you could be reaching. Currently, you're probably only targeting 5 to 10% of your TAM. You're doing things at a very low volume, maybe a couple of thousand emails a month, and you're wondering why you're not getting results. See, it's not out of the ordinary. Your competition is doing the same. However, there's 90% of your market that's untouched, and it's just waiting for someone who's systematic enough to reach them. Now, everyone's going for the easy to acquire customers, the ones that it's easy to get their data. No one's enriching it to find, okay, where's the other 90%? There's really the hidden gold mine. See, 90% of your TAM is currently untouched. And if your ACV is anywhere 10K plus, but let's just say 500 to 50 to 100K, that's 500 million to 5 billion in untapped market. Every month you wait, competitors who move first will lock in these relationships and get ahead of you. So the time is now. See, what we do is 100% TAM coverage, and that's market dominance. When you reach your full total addressable market systematically, you become the default choice in your space. See, competitors can't compete because you're getting yourself out there to everyone in the market. And even then, if you run an ad or have a conversation at an event, people recognize you because you've already been in their inbox or reached out to them previously. And there's millions in pipeline waiting to be unlocked. Our clients typically are anywhere from 500k to 5 million in new pipeline within 90 days. And that's just within 1 quarter. So that's just sitting in your market and just waiting to be kind of got. And you're not doing anything about it currently. See the transformation. So you go from inconsistent prospecting with limited coverage, and you're kind of reliant on referrals, networking, relationships, and your growth is reactive. You're waiting for the leads to come in. You have no way of knowing, if I do this much outbound, then I'll have this much clients, that sort of thing. Your growth is limited, and you don't have the math behind it to know how you're going to reach your growth plans for the next year, for the next 5 years, before you exit the business, that sort of thing. And time on outbound. So even if you are doing outbound, you're probably spending all your time doing it. So you can't actually focus on any of the strategic tasks you should be doing as an owner, CEO, VP of sales, CRO, these sorts of roles. You are stuck in the kind of appointment setting, and that's where we come in. So after working with us, it changes. We go to systematic dominance, full TAM coverage, strategic growth, and you can focus on closing the deals and doing the account-based marketing for your Dream 100, where your time is better spent. It's not best spent on setting the appointments. You need to turn up to those appointments, have the conversations with the qualified decision makers, close those deals. See, the timeline when you're working with us looks like this. So discovery and TAM mapping is week 1. And also during this time, we set up the infrastructure and get everything set up. And what that means is we'll map the total addressable market. We'll identify only decision makers who are qualified using AI and enrichments through a platform called Clay, if you're aware of it. Our infrastructure will build you a custom infrastructure to your business. So that'll be domains, emails, LinkedIn accounts, whatever's needed. And then we'll prepare the campaigns. And then from days 5 to 10 after launch, so this is week 3 and week 4, we'd expect to book the first meetings in there for you and your team, so you can start getting on the phone, you can start closing these deals. And then full results and optimization is weeks 3 onwards, where we start to see what's working in terms of our angles, and then we double down on what is working to get more and more results over and over, quarter over quarter, year over year. So just keep driving you to be that authoritative figure in your marketplace. See our 3-pillar system. So again, we do the full TAM coverage, that's map and reach your entire addressable market. So we only work with people with 30k as a TAM or more, just to give you context. We identify all of those qualified decision makers, and then we'll segment them by authority, company size, geography, industry. And we do this very, very strategically, so we can see, okay, how many of these can I reach with each of the channels we operate in. Then our multi-channel execution. So we're not just running email, we're not just running LinkedIn, we're also running cold calling, so we can map all of that 100% at full scale. Now, in terms of the volume, we'll probably come on to that in a little bit, but about 5,000 emails a day, depending on your TAM. Use a 50k example, I'd definitely be sending 5k emails a day there. 200 dedicated domains and 200 connection requests per LinkedIn account. We can scale that for 5, 10, 15 accounts. That's completely down to you, depending on how many people we've got to go after. And then we would do 80 dials a day with a dedicated SDR that would work strictly for your account. And in terms of human qualification, every reply is handled by a real operator. We're not implementing AI to reply to people. We want humans in the inbox who can, especially in the SDR case, add value, build the relationship, and give that human touch. So yeah, decision-making authority is verified, budget confirmed, only meeting ready will be scheduled. So how we achieve a full-time coverage Email alone only covers 60 to 70%. So if you're already working with a lead gen agency, or you have in the past, you haven't seen results, it's because they've probably just scraped Apollo and they've taken the 50% of your TAM, maybe even less. They haven't verified it. They therefore haven't got any results. We estimate that you can get normally about 60 to 70%, and that's with a different process outside of Apollo. We're using a number of different databases to do that. We then use cold calling as well, which would be anywhere from 10 to 20%. So look at this as we've got 100,000 people. We can get 60,000 of their emails. Now, who can we get a phone number for who doesn't have an email? Probably another 20,000 of those. And we've got 20,000 left over. We'll hit them with LinkedIn. And that's kind of how we do the full-time coverage. It's not just reliant on email, because you can't get everyone's email. That information is not always available. You can't get everyone's number, but LinkedIn you can get. See, the coverage logic is valid email, we'll send an email. No email but valid phone, we'll ring them. No email or phone, we'll get them on LinkedIn. So therefore, no one's even slipping through the cracks. And a quick case study. So Ocean Capital, FS brokerage in the UK, 100K ACV, 50,000 institutional traders and hedge fund managers TAM. So they're referral dependent, bit like a lot of businesses. Hit a growth ceiling, only reaching 5 to 10% of their TAM, relying on events, word of mouth, all these sorts of things. That probably sounds way too familiar for you as well. And then what we built was the full TAM outbound engine. So we mapped these 50,000 people into each of these buckets and attacked them with our multi-channel approach. And as you can see from the results on the right-hand side, we added 5.6 million pipeline in 90 days with 56 qualified meetings booked. They closed 5 deals from those, which is only a 10% close rate. They do have a longer sales cycle, so we expect that to go up. And 18 to 20 qualified meetings per month, which again then is predictable. You can then start to do the math and understand, okay, how am I going to reach my growth plans for 2026, 2027? How are we going to exit this business? So what you get when working with us is predictable qualified meetings, anywhere from 10 to 25 to 40 to 50, depending on what tier you go with, every month. And no feast or famine. You can forecast what this looks like in advance. You can really strategically plan what your business is going to look like in the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months. Full-time coverage. So again, not 5%, not 10%, not 20%, 100%, attracting every single decision maker in your market. And once we've covered all of those, we'll go back to them again after about 45 to 60 days with a new angle based on the results that we have. Multi-channel execution. So we're not just relying on email. We're not just relying on cold calling, LinkedIn. We're doing everything, and all of it works together. And especially with that dedicated SDR, when they're ringing people who reply to emails within 5 minutes, the results are 3x what they would be without that. So then human qualification, we only make sure that real buyers come through to your calendar, so you're not wasting time with these unqualified calls that you're probably way too familiar with, again, with kind of previous lead gen agencies. And your team and you focus on closing. So whether or not you're a CRO, whether or not you're a CEO, whoever's running the sales, whoever's running those closing calls, they are focusing on closing like they should be, rather than prospecting, going through leads who aren't qualified. And then again, consistent results quarter over quarter. We don't plan on a monthly basis. We plan for quarters. We start with an initial 90-day period, and then we aim to do this for you with at least 12 months, but we start with a 90-day trial. So the confidence mechanism, it takes 14 days to build your entire cold outbound engine, and then we expect to see the first meetings in 5 to 10 days after it is built. Now, the full results will be 45 to 60 days after that, just simply because then we can test different angles and see what's working. And then if you're unhappy with the results, there's no long-term contracts. It's just the initial 90-day period and tied to results, not time. So we deliver fast. You see qualified meetings in days. And if it's not working, then you can just let us know and we can not continue. So what this means for your business, the CRO focuses on closing, you get predictable pipeline, full market reach, and you become a market leader. So let's talk about your market opportunity. If you haven't already booked a call with me, you can book one down in the description. If you are, and you are waiting for the call and it is in a day or two's time, then I'll see you on the call. You'll have a few more videos coming through as well, but you can watch this one here.